So I think it's really critical that we talk about how to use tools so you don't hurt yourself. And there are ways so you can actually not throw your back out or throw your hips out. And the way I was doing it was wrong. I'm going to borrow a shovel. And I was often going like this to try and get it in, or I'd be, just kind of a shove. And then of course you're kicking and you can throw your hips out, your back. So the way when you're going to do the shovel is you put your foot on and then you start backing and forth like that. And then you change sides so you're not overusing. You're going 1, 2, 3, and then you go again. Okay? You can see that I'm getting it in and I'm not killing myself. Now sometimes you can't even get in the ground, so then you have a fork. And you can see somebody has really played with this fork. They're digging. But this one, because it's not a normal thing, you do the same thing. So again, you're just going to lean in and I lean in. You can see what I'm doing, right? Now see, I'm hitting some obstruction. So I'm just kind of wiggling it back and forth sideways even. Okay, see, and now I'm just working it. Now you say, now here's where the people start going like this, and you put your back out. And so there, if you can only get to there, you go to there and you go like this, and see how much I've moved? It's a lot easier. So the other digging tools we have, when things get really bad and you've gone from shovel to fork, and now you need your picks, or I think this is a Maddox, but basically then when you do this, you're using like an axe and you come in and see it goes really deep in it, and then you shovel out the material. So this is for major workings of doing it. And then this one, this is really heavy though. So I've had people who are in their 80s using this one because it's extremely light. And you can, and of course this one's a bit over, kind of like this. And you're just using it like an axe. Okay? And again, this is one that does a really good job of going deep. So that's your level. You go shovel, you go to fork, and then you go to pick. Say you plant a whole bunch of lettuce, but around it all these little plants come up. And you think, I'm going to have to get on my hands and knees, and I'm going to have to weed all that up. But if you take an oscillating hoe, and you can go around, if that's a plant, we can go around the plant, and it'll just cut the tops off the thing. And especially when you got small weeds, oh my goodness. You see, now I've gotten rid of all of them, and how fast did that go? So now you're not doing all the little weeding. This is my dominant hand, this is my undominant hand, this is my right hand. And what you're dealing with is that you want to see the point. Everybody see the point? You want to land it on the point, and you want to land it here beyond it. But see how my body's leaning now? The thing is, once you start leaning, you're hurting your lower back maybe. So what you're going to do is you're going to drop it. So what I'm doing is it comes up, I let gravity tear it, and I'm just pulling this arm in and that arm push. And I'm not doing it full out because I wanted to show you, but when you start doing this, you can see you can get a heck of a lot done. And you're kind of going push down and shoving. And see, I just did this area in just a few seconds. So I was just slowing it down so you can see. This is a standard rake, and do you see the D, I hope? Here, there's a D. So we also call it a D rake, or bow rake. I think it's a bow rake. Anyway, so if I take this, you can, if you're going to do your seeding and you need a flat bed with no garbage on it, you tip it over the back side and then you take off all the rocks, and this will be prepared so it will be nice and fluffy underneath, and all the rocks you see are out, and now you can plant your seeds on a clean surface. So if you see this lovely surface, you got the planting. Okay, so a bow rake is very useful. If I wanted to spread stuff, you can spread it out. The last thing I want to talk about, and my husband has been to the emergency room 2 times on it, so we're going to talk about this. You never put your hand below your saw, ever. You keep your hand up here and you pull once back to make, or a couple times back to make a track, and then start sawing, okay? But you do not put your hand down here in case it jumps out and cuts, We wound up in the emergency room doing stitches twice, and at that point I was kind of there when he did it and said, hand up, not hand down. Just a comment, you want to always do your tools safely.